Yo, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. I got a good one for you today. We're going to do a little bit of talking. Let me see. We're going to do a little bit of a tribute to the fathers. And then I'm going to just spend some time with y'all today, just talk to you a little bit. So I'm going to be moving around. So y'all just bear with me. Bear with me as I go. I'm try to wait for some people to get in here, and then I'm gonna read this little quote I got here. Running a little bit behind, but it's all good. I hope everybody is enjoying their day today. I hope everybody feel loved and blessed today. And if you're not, I'm here to tell you that I love you and God bless you. Um, um, I'm kind of on my own today, but it's cool. I got some things to do. I got some work around the house to do. Y'all have a chance to see some of the things that I do throughout the day, and I'll show you about that in just a minute. But I'm gonna go sit down in a minute. Once I get everything set up, I'll go sit down and have a chat with you. Let me see. Trying to get this thing in. Trying to get it going. I know a lot of people is probably out hanging out with their friends and family, and I hope that people really show them a good time today. Just really let the people that you love know just how much you love them, how much you appreciate them. So often, you know, fathers, and I know a lot of people talk about this, but so often fathers go unnoticed, and people really don't understand like how that make you feel. Sometimes, as a father to don't get the acknowledgement that you feel like you deserve. Sometimes it's hard. Uh, Sometimes it's tough. What's up? What's up? I see somebody that came in. And like I said, I'm gonna be moving around a little bit, but I just wanted to have a little bit of conversation today, and I'm gonna be, uh, you know, doing a little bit of shout outs, dedications, and then y'all gonna have a chance to see the things that I do, throughout the day. Um, like I said, I'm by myself today. It's not by force. It's because I'm in a mode today where I feel like I need to clean up my house, and that's in a literal and a physical sense. I mean, not physical, but you know what I'm saying. I just, you know, I need to take this time and just, gather my thoughts and just, focus on getting some stuff together around here. But I'm gonna read something to you real quick, and then I'm gonna go and bust out some suds over there. That's one of the things that I got set up to do. Let me put you right here real quick. I'm gonna give some shout outs throughout as much as I can. See somebody saying hi. Wait a minute. I'm gonna shout you out in a minute. Let me just read this real quick. Um, this is a little text about fathers. All right. It says the Bible emphasizes on fathers' role in the nurturing, disciplining, and spiritual guiding of their children. It instructs fathers to love their children, provide for them, and to teach them about God's ways, while also enlightening the importance of honoring parents. Furthermore, the Bible presents God as a loving and compassionate father figure, offering a model for earthly fathers. So I just wanted to put that out there so that you know, have a basic idea of what a father's responsibility is, even though we fall short. And I'm one to tell you that in some of these cases, I have fell short, you know, as a father. And it goes down to, you know, your teachings and where you came from. And I'm going to get into that in a minute, but let me go in here and see if I can see what's up with. I got to look on here so I can see, you know, who's in attendance with me, so I can see if I can get a shout out. All right, just bear with me, y'all. Just bear with me. We going on a little journey today. All right, let's see. All right, somebody start out with a joke. Sloth said hi. What's up? I appreciate you checking me out, joining in. And okay, but I'm gonna be doing things around the house as I'm talking to you. But I wanna say this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take you with me because I'm gonna be killing two birds with one stone. So today I decided that I want to excuse the lighting. I know my lighting ain't the best, but as I come along, I'm gonna, you know, start working on getting things together, having things a little bit better off, you know, more, you know, up to date like, you know, other YouTubers. But I'm just getting started out, and I got certain kind of phones, and you know, I'll have a camera and all that good stuff later on down the line. But I just want to tell you, first of all, I want to give you a little bit of history about me. Since this Father's Day, I want to talk about my father. God rest his soul. My father passed away in 1999. And it's just really giving you a personal sense about me and where I came from. And then I'm going to go forward on. But meanwhile, I'm going to be doing some stuff. So anyway, my father. All right, wait a minute. Hold on just a minute. Feel like I need to wipe my nose. Okay. All right. Started out. Okay. I mentioned on previous videos about the relationship that I had between that my father and myself had. It wasn't a great relationship originally. He was there. He was there up to, I think, probably the age of 11. He was around. He was around. He was a provider. And let me just say this from the beginning, because you know I don't want people to think that I'm trying to throw my father under the bus or nothing like that, or that I'm mad at him or anything. It's just, you know, I'm just going to tell you just how things went. So he was a provider. You know, he was one that would go to work every day, pay the bills, made sure we was taken care of, you know, the typical type father. But he wasn't the type of father that was hugs and kisses and tell you that he loved you. He wasn't that type of father. And to be honest, the strange thing is, I don't know why, but me and my brother, like, we never called him daddy. I don't know what happened that we never called him daddy. And he was there from the very beginning. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's a block in my head of something and I'm missing something, but we never called him daddy. I know when he got older And before he died, I had started calling him Pops. But I never called him Daddy. I just don't know why. But anyway, according to information obtained from my mom, he, when I was born, some of his family kind of talked to him and kind of made him feel like I wasn't his child. And the reason being was, when I was born, I was really light-skinned, and the thing is, my mom, her side of the family is light-skinned people. And matter of fact, we got Indian in our family, way down the line. So a lot of people on my mom's side of the family were light, but his family had a lot of influence over him. And it's like the things that they would tell him, like it would mean a lot more than, I would say common sense type things. Like, him and my mom, they were married, and they got married at a young age. But yet his family told him that about me not being his child, and he believed it. Now, mind you, I'm just gonna say this, just so y'all can be for sure. Now, I know a lot of times mothers be telling kids something. It ain't no shade towards no decent women, but this is real. This is facts. Sometimes mothers be telling kids negative things about their dad because I don't know. Just I guess they want the child to be more favorite towards them. But in this particular case, it was true. I know it was true. And the reason why I know it was true is because how he treated me. Like, he was really standoffish with me. But my older brother, on the other hand, like, he was closer to him. But still not close. Still not the type of father that hug him and tell him I love him. Still not that. Like, he just never showed that towards neither one of us. But he was closer to my brother. So we had that type of relationship until him and my mom separated. Then when him and my mom separated and he moved on and she moved on, it was like, for a long time, that was the end of his and my relationship. Like, he didn't want to be bothered with me. And it had came to a point, actually, my brother went to go live with him. And I would go and visit. But when I would go visit, it just seemed like I was bothering, like I was worrying him or something. But I was such a lovable kid. Like, the rejection didn't matter to me. Like, I still kept going around him. I still kept giving him Father's Day gifts, birthday gifts, Christmas gifts. It didn't matter. I loved him. I still loved him. Until one year, Christmas time, I went to go give him his Christmas gift like I do every year. Now, I'm going to do my shout outs. I see a few more people here. Just once I finish washing these dishes, I go and look at it. I can't see you for now, but I do see some people coming in. But anyway, one Christmas, I went to go see him to give him his Christmas gift. And he asked me, I went down to his family house, the same people that I was telling y'all about earlier. The one that he admired, respected so much more, So I went down to give him his gift. He asked, he had a whole car trunk. Matter of fact, he had a brand new car. And I was like, wow, this is nice. He's like, yeah, I just got it. I got it fresh off the showroom floor. I was like, wow, that's amazing. I honestly, the car was nice. It was sweet, right? So he asked me to help him take the packages in the house. And I'm saying to myself, now, mind you, every other birthday, every other Christmas, he never got me nothing, no gift. He always gave me an excuse as to why he couldn't get me nothing. And like I said, I was a forgiving kid. Like, it was okay. So anyway, I help him take the stuff in the house, and we get everything in the house, and everybody gathered around at a point, and they started exchanging gifts. So somebody went under the tree, and they just started calling names, and people started coming and getting their gifts. And so it got all the way down to the last gift. Now, mind you, as it was going down, like, I was starting to feel kind of stupid, to be honest. Like, because I helped them take all them gifts in there, but I guess in my mind, I was still hopeful. I was still hopeful that, he didn't leave me hanging, with all of them gifts he had in his car. I was like, there's no way, it's not a gift in there for me. So anyway, got down to the last gift, and it was for somebody else. And everybody was sitting around. They was happy and smiling, but so excited about their gifts. And I was standing there looking stupid. Like, I felt so stupid. I felt like if I made a fast move, I was going to be noticed. So I was just kind of frozen there. But I just really, deep down inside, just wanted to disappear. So I guess he saw the expression that I had on my face. So he said, come here, son, I got something for you. So I started getting my spirits up. I was like, good, okay, hey, he ain't forgot about me. Yes. So we walked out to his car, and when we got to his car, he went to digging around in the trunk, and I was like, well, we got everything out the trunk. What could he have in the trunk for me? So he went digging around, spare tires and everything. Them cars back in the day had the spare tire down it. Well, some of them still do, but anyway, he found this old shirt from the Pepsi-Cola company. He worked for the Pepsi-Cola company. This old shirt that I guess they gave him at the Pepsi-Cola company, he found that shirt and he gave it to me. He said, Merry Christmas. That really hurt me. That really hurt me. Like after all of them years, and I think it would have been better if I hadn't seen him giving out all of those gifts. If I would have just ran into him and he would have gave me the same excuse, I ain't got nothing right now, but when I get something, I look out for you. That's the excuse that he gave me every time. Maybe if I hadn't seen him giving out all of those gifts and I would have just ran into him and he said that, it wouldn't have hurt so bad. But the fact that I felt like everybody was looking at me and enjoying their gifts. So my mom taught me to be respectful, right? So I wasn't disrespectful to him, at least not to his face. I took the shirt. I said, thank you. He went on back in the house and I walked off. And I remember saying, I ain't gonna never speak to him again. I walked about a block down the road and I took that shirt. Somebody had their trash can sitting outside. I took this shirt and threw it in the trash. Yeah, it was kind of ungrateful looking back at it, but it's just how I felt at that moment. A free shirt he got off the job. That's what he decided to get for me. A free dusty shirt, mind you. That's what he gave me after he see me in there looking embarrassed in front of all of his friends and family, which most of them didn't even care for me like that. Like I said, they never cared for me. So after that, it was probably about 3 years I didn't speak to him. I didn't go around him. Was no Father's Day gifts. Was no birthday gifts. No Christmas gifts for about 3 years. Like I was through. In my mind, I felt like I was through with him. I ain't messing with him like that no more. So I was walking down the street one day, and I probably mentioned this in a previous video, but I don't know. But I'm gonna lay it all out right now. I was walking down the street one day in that same block where his family lived, and this man started calling me. He knew my name, and I was like, "Who's that?" The man was in a wheelchair. He's like, "It's me, your daddy." No, he's like, "It's me, your father." I look, and first thing was on my mind is, what happened to you? Mind you, last time I seen him a few years back, he was living it up. Brand new car, dressed nice, cologne. You know, he was on the top of the hill. The last time I saw him, and to see him looking dusty in a wheelchair, I was like, what the? And you know, of course, the devil wanted me to keep right on walking, but I didn't really think about that at the time. Really, I think my first instinct, like I wanted to know, like what happened. I wanted to know, like what's going on, what happened with him. So I sit down and I asked him. I said, what's going on with you? Like I ain't recognize you. Like what happened? So he began to tell me what happened. He said he was working. He used to drive the forklifts at the Pepsi Cola company. And he went to go put some stuff in the truck, driving a forklift, and the truck pulled away from the station. And the load in the forklift fell several feet down to the ground. And I was like, like, dang, that's, when somebody tell you something like that, you like, like, ouch, And he was like, it wound up putting him out of work. I'm still here, I'm wiping this counter. It wound up putting him out of work. And, he wound up having to retire early because, he was messed up. He was messed up after that. So, mind you, like I said, the devil was steadily saying, serve him right. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Leave him sitting right there. Look what he done to you all the years. What you going to sit around and feel sorry for him? Look how he treated you. This is what the devil was telling me. But I've always been the type of person to have a huge heart. A huge heart. It don't matter. Well, it do matter, but it didn't at that point. It didn't matter how people treated me. Like I still love people. I still love people. I still care for them. Even at times when I know that I was being used. Like the upbringing that I had with my mom, like growing up in church, learning about forgiveness. All of these things I took into my adulthood, but the common sense of it was, yeah, God wants for us to love people. He wants for us to forgive people, but he don't want for us to be no fools neither. And that's the part that I wasn't getting, because I was a fool. I was a real fool. But anyway, getting back to him. So when I found out, the condition he was in, and immediately my heart kicked in. I said, I gotta help my father. Like he was looking bad. Like I said, I can't leave him like this. I'm not going to leave him like this. So at the time, I had my girlfriend and we had one child, my oldest daughter. And I told her about him and what was going on, and just so happened the apartment over top of him had became available for rent. So I talked to his landlord, and we were able to rent that apartment over there. And we moved over there on that side of town, and I started taking care of him. And I was taking care of him, but I noticed some of his family members was kind of, when I wasn't around, they was kind of coming in and out, having him sign. And I forgot, he was almost blind. He was almost blind too. So I found that like when he write, like you have to show him the line to write on, like his vision was pretty bad. I noticed that they was having him sign things, and then they're hardtail when I get there. When I come, they're hardtail. So I'm asking him, I said, you know what you signing? What do they have you signing? And he'd tell me something, he'd give some kind of, something, but he made me feel like it was something that he was in agreements with. Like it wasn't, but I was feeling like, because he couldn't see that well, I was feeling like people was taking advantage of him. So I became the enforcer. I started locking stuff down. And, I told him, I said, when somebody come with something to sign, you don't sign nothing unless I'm there. Back then, my vision was a lot better than what it is now. I said, you let me know and let me look over it before you go signing anything. And he was like, okay. So I moved over there, like I said, and all of a sudden, like, he started acting like really ungrateful. Like he started like just talking trash and get this, get that. You taking too long. Why is it taking you? Like, I was like, what's going on with him? Like, do he realize I done moved clean across town to come over here and take care of him? And he's talking like this. And here's the thing, even through all of that, I was still keeping it. I was keeping cool. But my girlfriend, on the other hand, she was hearing it. And she was raising sand. She's like, nah. You come all the way over here and then you move over here at that. The look out for him and take care of him. And he down there talking trash to you, this. I was like, he's sick. I was making excuses. You know what? I think I have done videos about this. If not, I'm going to do a video about this. I was always the type to make excuses for people. They just having a hard time. Like I was always, just to keep peace. I was always that person making excuses for people. Used to be. But anyway, so it got so bad that I was getting angry. I was really starting to get angry. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give him a few days. And don't get me wrong, I didn't leave him in a situation where he was by himself. Like I said, his family was in and out of there. So I just didn't abandon him and leave him, without anything. So, but I took myself out of the situation for a minute and give him something to think about. And, he kept trying to meet me as I was coming in and out the building. And I started kind of just avoiding him and started going around the back way going in, until one day he caught me coming around the back way. He said, son, come here. I want to talk to you. I need to talk to you. And I was just like, he's like, please, come and let me talk to you. I said, okay. So I go in and talk to him, and he apologized. He apologized for how he was acting. And he just, just told me how frustrated he is with things. And, I remember throughout he was telling me about all of the big plans that he had, and everything is messed up, and he's in a wheelchair, and like I felt for him, because I remember when I was coming around, I remember all of those big dreams and plans that he had. So, I understand that he was, I forgave him. So I forgave him. So, but in that conversation, for the first time in my whole entire life, I think I was about 22, 23. About 23. He told me he loved me. And I was shocked. I was shocked. Because he never said nothing like that. He never said nothing like that to me. I was shocked. But I needed that. I needed that. It was like a whole new world opened up, so to speak. Like I needed to hear him tell me that. So shortly after, I went back to taking care of him, and it was about less than a year later, he had passed away. And I remember singing at his funeral and crying, just bawling out, crying. And it still was some things that I didn't understand. It was some questions that I had that I wish that I was brave enough to ask. Like the rejection, like I forgave him, but I never really got an explanation from him. Yeah, I heard from my mom, like why he was treating me like that, but I really wanted to hear that from him. So, but I never got that. So, he wound up passing, and a couple of months later, my second child was born. My second daughter was born. And I remember saying what a lot of fathers say: I'm not going to be that same type of father to my child. I'm not going to have my kids feel the way that I felt. And wait a minute, let me get this pot. And one thing that I got from there, that I got right when it came down to my kids, but I didn't get everything right. But one thing that I did get right, my kids, even though I didn't show up and I wasn't there for them the way that I should have been there for them, one thing that I took from the relationship that I had from my father is the fact of my kids never feeling like I don't love them, or them never hearing me tell them, because I tell them so much, even as adults now, that I know they get tired of hearing it. Like I never, ever want them to feel like I don't love them. Even when I can't be there, even when I can't do everything else that I want to do, I never want them to feel rejected. Now, other things happen, and I still wind up making mistakes as a parent. I still wind up missing out on important things that's important to a child and important to me as a father. I missed out on things. Sometimes it was my fault, and sometimes it was other people's fault. But I'm talking about this message, and I'm putting all of this out here on the line for a couple of reasons. One, to give people a better understanding of me and where I came from and why I am the way I am. and which is just a normal, everyday person, not perfect, have faults, make bad choices, bad decisions. Even at my age, I've still made bad choices, bad decisions that that I have to deal with for the rest of my life. And one thing that I try to express to my kids, because this is all about breaking generational curses. I know people hear about that all the time, and some people may feel like, oh, that's just excuses. No. In order for you to have, and I have seen fathers, I have seen friends, family that come from messed up situations with their fathers, go out to be great dads, you know, and you know, I'm so happy for them. You know, in my case, I wish that things could have been better. I wish that things could have been perfect, but we living in a world that's not perfect. Sometimes, you know, you meet somebody, you think that they the world, and it just don't work out sometimes. You know, and sometimes the relationship with you and your kid or your child, your children, is determined by how the mother and father move forward after a broken relationship. Sometimes you have, not to say this me, not to say this not me, but sometimes you have situations where people feel like if you're not going to be with them, you're not going to see your child. Like it you know, it hurts the child. It hurts the child. Then you have parents. Then you have mothers that sit and talk a bunch of trash about the father. You know, and you know, you the mom, you have the biggest influence on your child, especially with you being the what's that, the I forgot the word for it, but being you know, the parent, the parent that has the rights of the child, the most rights or whatever. It's a word, but I can't think of it. But it's your responsibility as a mom to make sure that you do your part, and it's the dad's responsibility as a dad to make sure he do his part. But some people, they act out of revenge and I don't know, crazy emotions. I don't know what it is, but the child hurts. It hurts the children. It hurts the children when, you know, when the parents is, you know, messed up, arguing with each other, or, you know, all of that stuff. Your personal feelings about people, what you do to your kids and around your kids, it affects them. It affects them. And I can honestly say that I have seen some situations, I done been in some situations. I've seen the after effects of being in and out of messed up situations, to having your kids be bitter with you. I've seen the side where your kids see the truth, but you know, lost so much time. It's like You know, everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody, when they go out here, well, I'm not even gonna say everybody because some people just be freelancing, but every decent person that goes out here and decide to have a child, decide to make a child, I'm sure they have good intentions by their children, you know, and everybody just don't have the knowledge to do the right thing, and as far as raising their kids, like it's learned behavior, you know. I'm gonna sit down for a minute, then I'm gonna go to the next level. I got some things around here that I'm doing, but I'm gonna talk to y'all in the process. But for a long time, like I said, going back to me and my father now, I don't want to leave and have y'all thinking, oh, he died and I was bitter towards him. No, I wasn't. I have forgiven him for the things that, that he did, the mistakes that he made. But now, me personally, as a dad myself and making mistakes, I understand. I got a better understanding for him and what he went through and what he was dealing with and what he probably wasn't taught. I have a better understanding about things, even though, like I said, growing up, you learn stuff. And I know how it is to be persuaded by people, but I learned as I got older that a lot of people only do that because they want to use you. So they persuade you to go against people that may really care about you because they want to have you all to themselves. But let me finish up the story with my father real quick, just to let you know just how people is. So my father passed away, and the couple months later, like I said, my daughter was born. So it was a sad, joyous time for me. But then, after my father passed, number one, his girlfriend at the time, which was one of the ones that had him signing papers that I never could figure out. Matter of fact, I forgot. I missed the part. Just before my father died, somebody packed my father's things and moved him away from there. They packed him up and moved him away from there, right? And I didn't know where he was at. And I asked his family, which lived a few doors down, and they try to act like they didn't know where he was at. So the next thing I know, I get a phone call from my mom. Mom said, going up to the hospital, your father's in the hospital. He had an accident. I was like, an accident? So I hauled tail and ran up to the hospital. And I got to the hospital. When I got there, he was in a coma. And I was I was confused. I was angry. I was like, like what happened? So I don't know who told me. I think somebody told me. Somebody told me that he had fell down a flight of steps. I said, what is he doing on steps? And he was in a wheelchair. I never did get answers about that. I never found out where he lived. I never was able to get his things. Um, but anyway, I'm going ahead again. So I go to the hospital. I'm at the hospital and I started talking to him. He in a coma. I'm talking to him and I'm saying, please come back. We love you, we need you. Don't you know? My father came out of that coma. Now I'm telling you, this is straight truth. I'm telling you, he came out of that coma as I was talking to him, and I called for the doctors. I said, uh, "Come on in. He's out. He's out." So they came in. They started doing whatever, whatever. So after they finished what he was on, he began to talk to me, and he said, "I want you and your brother to take care of each other." And at that time, me and my brother, we was kind of on the outs. Um, I ain't gonna give the details why we was on the outs, but we was kind of on the outs. And when he told me that, I was like, okay, I will. So I sit there with him for probably about another half an hour, and I felt bad. I had to go because my oldest daughter, she was in kindergarten, and she was going to be getting off of the school bus shortly, and I had to go clean cross town. I had to make a clean cross town to get her off the school bus and make my way back up there. So I told him, I said, look, I'm gonna be right back. I'll be right back. I said, let me go get Ashley, and I'll be right back. He's like, okay. So I ran clean cross town, probably about an hour away. Time I got over there, got Ashley off the bus, I got the phone call. He passed away. And I was like, but he was doing so good. He looked better and he was talking good. He passed away. So anyway, like I said, I skipped ahead before. I said we did the funeral arrangements and stuff like that, and a lot of his family, his immediate family, his sisters, lived in North Carolina, and we were in Maryland. We was in Baltimore. So I wanted to have a service in Baltimore. His insurance policy would have covered it. I wanted to have a service in Baltimore and then have his body shipped down where his sisters and his brother in North Carolina can have a service and he can be buried down there with his family. Well, it was up to me and my brother, but everybody else everybody. When I say everybody, the people that supposed to be his family that he was living around, they convinced my brother to not do that. So, you know, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. So we had the service, and right now he's in a cemetery in Baltimore, and I'm pretty sure nobody up there is probably visiting him like that because um, I'm skipping ahead. But let me tell you. So this same family. Matter of fact, if I go on, let me look at this thing so I can. I see some people sitting in here. Let me see if I can get some shout outs. I don't know what's up. What's up with this phone? Come on now. All right. Y'all bear with me. I'm trying to see this now. Uh who said Sam said God bless you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that. And thanks for tuning in to my story, sitting and chilling with me. What's this? Chandru said, yo, what's up? Thanks for stopping in. You said something a few times, something like it. What else we got? Kia said hello. Phil said, "What's up? Sup?" Well, he said, "Sup." Uh, was that Disturbed Genius? You asking silly questions. Uh, Somebody said they don't have a dad. They said, "Hi, who's that?" Cosmo. Let's see, man. Let's just respect from. I can't make out your name, but you said respect, homie, respect. Yo, what's up? I appreciate that, man. Like I said, I have vision problems. I'm trying to do this on my own, but shout out to everybody. I appreciate all of y'all coming in and listening to my story and spending time with me. It's Father's Day to all the fathers. I want to say Happy Father's Day too. And I don't mean to be a down on this, but I'm just kind of giving you some history. It's not really a sad story. I'm in, I'm inspired by the story because it's taught me some things, and then uh, these situations has helped me grow to be a better person. So I'm not mad about anything. I'm not throwing my father under the bus or anybody else. It is what it is. So, but anyway, back to the story. So let me see. So what was I saying? Oh, so after my father passed away, like these same family members was living in this same block at the same house like all of my life. Like they've always lived there at that house. But surprise, surprise. After my father died, I started noticing people started buying new houses and carrying on. I'm like, wait a minute. Wow. All of these years, you lived at that address. And now you're able to buy new houses. Uh, y'all moving and like, wow. Now, I don't know nothing for sure, but it just seemed kind of fishy to me that some of these people had my father signing documents that he couldn't explain to me like what they were, and they wouldn't explain to me what they were, what they had him signing. But after he died, everybody can afford to go buy a new house. Like, but anyway, I'm not even mad about that because guess what? What goes around comes around. So if anybody did anything ill-willed, I'm pretty sure the karma came back. But anyway, um so fast forward into me. You know, I had two daughters in Maryland, and I had a son down here. And unfortunately, you know, the relationships that I had, and I wasn't one, well, I wasn't one to be ripping and running around between women and stuff like that. When I started having kids, like, I took it serious. Like, I didn't want to be running around and, you know, cheating on their mom. And especially my first two kids was girls. I said, I can't be no that type of influence around them. And then, you know, I didn't want my karma to be their karma because guess what? You man, you run around here being a player, running from women to women. Somebody gonna do that to your daughter. It's going to work out that way. So, you know, I had in my mind like I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that type of person. So, but unfortunately, the situations, the relationships didn't work out, and you know, I wound up being a father from a distance, and you know, it's tough. It's tough because me and my girls, for instance, like I had my son some years later, but me and my girls, like, you know, they was like my sidekicks. You know, we did things. My oldest daughter, I got to do a little bit more with her, but my youngest daughter, when we broke up, you know, she was living in a different state. So I missed out on a lot of things. I didn't get to teach her how to ride a bike like I got to teach my oldest daughter. And different things. When you living in a whole nother state, like 600 miles away from people, like it's not easy to be connected with each other like that. You know, and I'm telling these stories because I try to talk to my kids. My oldest daughter has a son now. My other two kids, they don't have any kids right now, but I try to talk to them about things, even my mistakes, because one, I don't want them to be having no excuses for anything. Anything you do in life, and this is one thing that I say on my channel, anything you do in life, good or bad, take accountability for it. I prefer for you not to do bad, but listen, be accountable for your actions. Be accountable for your actions. And some of the time that we missed out on, I accept full responsibility for my actions. And I tell them this, I never want to lie and try to blame it all on the other person and this, that. No, I take responsibility for my actions. You know, uh, the times where I maybe could have and I didn't for whatever reasons. So anyway, we moving forward. We moving forward. And of course, it's not easy. It's not easy because, you know, in my daughter's case, I'm not going to talk about too much because it's, their personal business, but, their mom, they lost their mom. And it's tough. It's tough. It's really tough for them, you know, to try to navigate through life, and pretty much, they've lost everybody on that side of the family, on the mom side of the family. All of them has passed away, so it's kind of hard. It's kind of tough for them. And I know I'm way over here, but I try to be, you know, as encouraging, as positive, as motivating as I can from where I'm at. I pray for them all the time that God keep them shielded and protected in the blood of Jesus. I pray for them all the time because it's really crazy out here in these streets, and it's getting more and more, and my girls especially, well, not even especially, because my son here is down in the South, and I fear for him too. I fear for him as a young black male, and um, he's he love everybody, and he's supposed to. But I, as a parent, like, I know the real deal about what's going on in this world, and some people have a hard time dealing with everybody loving each other, and some people will hate you because you love each other. You love each other regardless of their race, what they look like, where they came from. Some people will hate you because of that. So I just pray for them all the time that God keep them shielded and protected in the name of Jesus. You know. But I just, matter of fact, before I go to the next thing, it ain't all bad. I have had good influences. I have had good father figures in my life, and I want to shout them out right now. Um, I had a stepdad. Things was good for a minute, and then it went bad, very bad. And for years, I had bitterness in my heart towards him from things that happened growing up as a teenager. I had bitterness in my heart for him, but as I grow and mature and get closer to God and learn more and more about forgiveness, I don't have as much bitterness as I did for him. Right now, I'm going to say today that because of that man, I learned how to drive. Because of that man, I learned how to tie a tie. I learned uh, about building things. He was a carpenter. I learned all of that because of him. But for years, I didn't think about none of that. All I could concentrate on and focus on was the negative things, the negative. So I had like a hatred towards him, you know. And then, you know, eventually it came to a point where I was thrown out. I was thrown out, and I felt like he was responsible for it. So for a lot of years, like I had this anger and stuff like that towards him. But now that I'm older and I done learned some things, I done been some places, I done made some mistakes myself. Listen, from this point, I'm gonna focus on the positive. Even with my father. Yeah, I said those negative aspects, but listen, it was a learning experience for me because the things that he didn't do, I tried to do with mine, with my kids. And then I'm finding like he wasn't taught that. Like if I can look at if I can get a line of fathers and just line them up, I'm talking about good fathers. I would never think that any of those fathers with their babies that wouldn't feel comfortable with their babies calling them daddy. Like that was, man, my heart melted when my kids started calling me daddy, dad. Oh my goodness, man, that was a beautiful, awesome feeling. So I just don't understand why we didn't do that with my father. Like I don't know if it's, some people be too cool, and I'm just guessing right now, but some people be too cool for that. Don't call me that. Like call me, or, mostly like I see it on TV. I don't know. I ain't seen it in real life. Like grandmothers, for instance, young grandmothers, they don't want for the grandkids to call them grandma. You know what I'm saying? Because grandma seem old. They got little nicknames and stuff like that now. So I don't know. I don't know what happened, but that experience that I had with my father helped me to do a little bit better by mine. Now I wasn't perfect, but I did better. So I thank him, especially on today, Father's Day. God rest his soul. I thank him for what he did know and what he did do. My stepdad, I thank him for what he did do. I'm not gonna sit around and be angry with him behind stuff that happened when I was a kid. You know, I'm not gonna be angry anymore. I'm gonna move forward appreciating the lessons and the blessings. Appreciate the lessons and the blessings. Because honestly, he did teach me some things. And he was available at one point in my life when my dad wasn't. I didn't consider none of that because I was so angry with what he didn't do. So it's a point in all this. Just appreciate everything, the good and the bad, but focus on the good and just try to take that and build upon that good and try to do better for yourself and better for your family and better for your kids. That's the point that I'm at right now. So that's my father and that's my stepdad. But it's some other unsung heroes that I want to talk about. And this gonna be the first. This gonna be the last time I mention it because I some people don't want to keep hearing about the same things over and over and over. But I'm gonna do these shout outs. All right, my Uncle Journey. His name was William T. Simmons. Uncle Journey, and I mentioned this in a previous video, but Uncle Journey, I want to say Happy Father's Day in heaven to him. He taught me how to cut hair. He taught me how to fix bikes. He taught me how to respect, how to respect, have respect for myself and respect for others. And I want to take this time right now and send a shout out to heaven for my Uncle Journey. One of those pieces that was there when my father, was, I guess, finding his way or couldn't find his way, whatever the situation was. It was somebody, he was somebody God put in my life to help me navigate through my young adult years. All right, who else? My Uncle Andy. My Uncle Andy his name was Andy Simmons. He didn't have kids of his own. He wasn't the type of person that was into being around the family all the time. And I remember people saying, dang, Uncle Andy be acting funny. He only never come around. He don't never come around. Like he just stay to himself. And I remember thinking, yeah, wonder why. Well, I see why. I found out why Uncle Andy was staying to himself. And I thank him for that lesson. And then before he died, he passed away from cancer. Before he passed away, I had an opportunity to spend a whole weekend. He came down here because he wanted to see me and my mom before he passed away. He only had a few weeks left on his life, and he came here to see us. And me and my girlfriend, we took them out. We spent the whole weekend with them. Matter of fact, I took off for work and everything. We spent the whole weekend hanging out with them, and we had a chance to meet his wife, for the first time, and it was absolutely beautiful. I never seen a more loving, caring relationship. Watching them two was a blessing to us. They cared for each other. They catered to each other. They loved each other. They was a good classic example of what a relationship should be like. And I thank him for that. And I thank him for the lesson of why he stayed to himself. It took me a long time, but I thank him for that lesson. I understand. So shout out to him in heaven, Uncle Andy. Uh, who else? Uh, my Uncle Key. Uncle Key. Now Uncle Key's still around, but I'm gonna say this. Um, Uncle Key used to pick on me when I was a kid. I don't know if y'all know about this, but it's this little thing where you take your washcloth, your wet washcloth, and you take it and you pop it on somebody. Like, it's something we used to do when we was younger, like pop them. He used to do that to me all the time, and he used to tease me because I would tell my Aunt Roxy, I would say, I was just a kid. I was just a kid, what, 5 or 6, and I would cry to my Aunt Roxy. He hit me. He hit me right there. And he used to just tease me and tease me. And when I grew up, I told y'all about the story when I got in trouble. Well, I used to go around him all the time. Like, he never ever made me feel unwelcome, even though, you know, I never felt unwelcome around him. So, but the only thing is, everybody else, I see somebody saying hi. Hold on a minute. Handy Haka, is saying hi. And who was this? I can't get y'all names that good, but let's see. What's your life experience so far? As he must be 40 plus. Okay. All right. I'm gonna talk about it in a minute. Let me see. So let me just say, my Uncle Key, like I said, he was always welcoming. And the only thing is, like, we would always have like parties, 4th of July parties. Like, that was the house. That everything would always go down. And everybody back then everybody was into like rap music and R&B type music. But Uncle Key, he loved that country music. He loved country music. And everybody be around, they be dancing. And he'd go and take the CD off, and he'll put that country song on it. Everybody used to be like, oh man, oh man. And then before you know it, he'll start singing. Down home blues, down home blues. All she wanted to hear was the down home blues all night long. I couldn't stand that daggone song. I swear I couldn't stand that song, but I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. When I got older and I listened to that song, you know, and my music, like my thirst, my knowledge for music became greater. It wasn't just centered on rap. I started getting into R&B. I started getting into old school, classic, um, country. Kenny Rogers was my dude. Country, you know. And once I started doing that, and I started expanding myself, I started getting a better understanding for the song. But it was one special thing that he did that I'm giving him this Father's Day shout out because I appreciate him. I appreciate him, uh, you know, being in my life and being there for me. When I was arrested, when I was falsely arrested that time, um, and I didn't have no place else to go, him and my aunt Roxy came and got me, no hesitation, no excuses, no complaints. They came and got me and immediately gave me a place to stay, helped me to get myself on my feet, and he didn't have to do that. You know, of course, my aunt Roxy probably would have did it, but he didn't give her no status. He was for it. You know, I feel like he knew the type of character that I was, that I had, and you know, so I thank him for that. I never got a chance to actually sit and look at him face to face and thank him for that, but that was a special time in my life where I was feeling really down, and what they did for me that really made me feel good. So shout out to Uncle Key, John Key, um, and happy Father's Day to him. And my Uncle Joe, going back to my younger years. Um, Uncle Joe, he used to be walking all the time. Uncle Joe was ex-military, you know, and I every time I see him, like he was my little cousin's father, and but he was always on the go. You know, he was always going to work, you know, moving around. He come in, he give us some life lessons, and he come through. And one day he came down to the basketball court where we were at, and uh, I was like, Uncle Joe, what you know about this? Uncle Joe shot that daggone 3-point shot, and that thing was like butter. I was like, I never seen him on a basketball court before, and I was really shocked. I was really amazed, and I was like, man, I said, come on, Uncle Joe, come on, play with us. He's like, nah, I retired. Now I can look at myself and think back on how and why he retired. Shit, now I got these knees. My son and all them people that I used to play ball with, trying to get me back out there. I done did my damage. Y'all ain't gonna get me out there and be breaking me down so y'all can go down in history talking about how you broke me. No, no, I ain't doing it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm like Uncle Joe. I shoot that ball, shoot a little shot every once in a while, but I'm not getting out there playing no ball like that. I went out on the top, and that's how it's gonna be. I ain't going back. But shout to Uncle Joe, because he would always, talk to us about things, help us to stay on the right track. So Joseph Carter, Uncle Joe, shout out to him. Happy Father's Day to him. Another one of the good positive influences in my life. When I left home, uh, in my young teenage years, he was one of the, key factors around keeping us in line, keeping us straight. And I appreciate that. You know, that's the thing. And I'm doing this today because a lot of times we don't know. We don't know what a person is feeling like. You know, I'm sitting here by myself today on Father's Day, and it's not by force. I want to be here. I want to be here because I wanted to do this, and I wanted to do some things around the house, and then I wanted to show y'all some things that I usually do throughout the week or the day or whatever like that. But people are lonely. People are hurting. People are sad, but they walking around like that commercial. I ain't got my smiley face, but it's a commercial that got the smiley face. They walking around with a smile, and they hurting inside. They don't feel loved. They don't feel wanted. They don't feel needed. And when people is in that state of mind is when the devil can do his best work. The devil can convince people to want to throw in the towel. The devil will try to convince you, ain't nobody love you, ain't nobody care for you, look at you. He'll try to use that opportunity to try to make you think less of yourself, less of your situation. Uh, I'm doing this because I hope that I can reach somebody that's by themselves, feel like they don't have nobody, don't have nothing. I just want to reassure you that it's not true. Number one, you have the Lord. Always go to the Lord. Always pray. Always ask God for help. If you're lonely, if you're going through something, if you're hurting, ask God for help. Listen, these stories that I'm talking about is absolutely 100% the truth, facts. Like, I've been that person sitting around crying, sad, because I can't be with my kids, or because I'm all messed up now and I can't go to work. Uh, Feeling sorry for myself, my vision, instead of, and I'm not blaming you, I'm not blaming anybody that don't look at the bright side, because it took some things for me to get it, that I have to start looking at the blessings in these situations. These lessons and blessings. It took some time for me to realize that I need to stop looking down on myself and feeling bad and look at the blessings that I have. You know, somebody else, I'm sitting there listening now. I'm in North Carolina. It's been raining and thundering every day, thundering and lightning, raining every day. Somebody out there on the street and don't have a place to stay, don't have a place to live, got to find a place to shelter from that. Look at me. I'm sitting in a house, comfortable. The temperature is good, able to talk. I'm learning to appreciate the blessings. Of course, the devil tried to come to me today and try to make me angry. Listen, I had a good message. I got a good message this morning. I watched service with John Gray, and it was beautiful. I know some people don't care about John Gray because, you know, listen, what people got to realize is people, we are human beings and we make mistakes. None of us are perfect. You know, that's the thing about repentance, confessing to God, asking forgiveness, moving forward, doing better for yourself, making better choices and decisions. So I don't judge nobody. Once upon a time, I used to be how they going to call themselves being up there. Matter of fact, right now, for instance, it's been a lot of controversy over this last BT award for what's that girl name getting an award? The girl be doing the music that's off the chain. uh, a lot of people feel like why is she gonna get a gospel award when she's living a certain way? Once upon a time, I used to be right in the same boat. Like, yeah, like she don't deserve it. She ain't no Christian. No, listen. God can use any situation to change or to turn somebody's life around. Who knows? Maybe that gospel will touch her in some kind of way. I see she gave knowledge, she gave honor to God. Something that I don't know her, but something that she might not have done if she was receiving a award for that normal music that she do. She gave God the honor and the praise for the award. You know, it was something completely out. But you have a lot of artists that are upset that she received that award. And I'm not. I'm not. I hope that it changes and that it touches her heart and that it improves her in life. You know, to let her know that it's better on the other side. You can be a blessing no matter which way you go. You can be a blessing, right? So I don't judge nobody. That's the point. I ain't judging nobody. Listen, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect at all. I don't have no room at all to try to throw no stones at nobody's house because I'm not perfect. I'm just a regular man trying to make it, trying to do the best I can, trying to grow stronger in the Lord. And I'm not going to judge nobody else, you know. But anyway, like I said, I got some things that I plan to do around the house. I done bust some suds. Um, One of the other things that I do, like I said, I do I have vision problems, and I can't do everything when it comes down to um, you know some things reading or even some driving. Like my driving is very limited now until I can get my surgery. Like I can't really drive like I used to. But the blessings that I have, sorry about that. The blessings is that I still have, even though I was injured on my job and I wound up messing my back up. God still is giving me the strength to be able to do the things that I need to do for my girlfriend here at the house because she does dialysis at home and she helps me with the visual part of the things that I need, and then I help her with the physical part of the stuff. Like um, I'll show y'all. She don't want. I know she ain't want me to be showing y'all the house I got to get cleaned up, but all of these boxes anyway. Stuff like that. I have to get together, and one of the things I have to do is I wish I knew how to flip this screen around so I could show you. Wait a minute. can. I see it. This is her machine, and inside her machine here, this thing here is very heavy. That has to be changed out in order to use this for her next batch of her next supply. So that's one of the things that I'm gonna be doing. But I'm gonna talk to y'all while I'm doing it. I'm gonna post y'all up. Let me see. I'll show you the box. But yeah, I just like I said, I just wanted to do uh this the shout out this Father's Day special. I call it. It's a Father's Day special because once again, I just want all the fathers to know that regardless, um, you are loved, you are appreciated, and God knows your heart. You know, and I pray that you can have good, positive, successful relationships with your children because it's important. It's important. It's very important. And these young people, they need us now more than anything. So I pray that things will work out. And I'm gonna prop y'all up right here while I'm doing this stuff here. I pray that things will work out where you be able to have the time with your kids that you need. I pray that God will touch the hearts of the kids, the hearts of the moms. I pray that God will bless you to be able to do what you need to do, financially, physically, however, to provide for your kids. Because listen, children are a blessing. Children are a blessing. And I thank God that He gave me the opportunity to be a father. Because at one point, I honestly thought that I wasn't going to be, I was thinking that it wasn't in the cards for me to be a father. I don't know why, but in my mind, I just felt like I wasn't going to be a father. But then, boom, out of nowhere, God blessed me with a daughter. And I remember it so clearly, like it was yesterday. To actually realize that I'm a daddy. I'm a daddy. Like, it was amazing. Like, that little person, like, that's mine. That's me. That's my child. That's my baby. Oh my goodness. You talking about awesome? That was awesome. But it took some getting used to. And you know, I remember just being so protective and you know, just watching her every moves and trying to protect her, trying to, you know, protect her when she about to fall. And like the apartment that I had when she was born had marble floors. And I remember when she first started walking, I remember her slipping on the floor, and I remember being so afraid, like, oh no, I don't want her to fall and hurt her head. And I I remember all of this like it was yesterday. And us moving out, you know, moving and getting another apartment with carpet so that, you know, when she do fall, you know, babies fall. When she do fall, you know, she just be falling on the regular carpet floor. Man, I gotta turn the machine on. She'd just be falling on the you know, the floor, the regular carpet floor. So, and so that was special. That was special. And then when my second daughter came, here's the thing. I'm telling you, I remember it like it was yesterday. When my second daughter was born, like I said, it was right after my father passed away. And we were thinking about moving down south, down here, and getting a place and starting new, starting from scratch. And I had came here looking to look at a house. And I left my girlfriend and my daughter back in Baltimore. And then I got the call that she was going in labor early. I was like, what? Yeah, she had to be rushed to the hospital and was going in labor. Hey, don't tell the police. I was doing like 100 trying to get back to Baltimore. And it was the grace of God that God kept me shielded and protected, and that I didn't get no ticket because I was floating to get back there. But let me tell you about the blessing. I get to the hospital. My baby is in what they call it, the MICU, whatever, where they had the babies, the preemies. The doctor told me that the chances of her surviving was little to none. I remember telling that doctor, you don't know God. You don't know Jesus. That child fought to get out here on this earth. God brought that child out here. God is going to make sure that she make it. And the doctor, I remember he looked at me like, okay, if you say so. How about 4 days, my baby was coming home. Healthy, coming home. Nobody can't tell me that there's no power, that God don't have no power. I won't accept it. I won't accept it. I have seen too many miracles. I am a miracle. I am a miracle. The doctors told my mom when I was born that I would never see. I would be blind. I'm 52. July the 1st, I'll be 53 years old. I'm still seeing. I'm not blind. I'm legally blind, but I'm not blind. So I know the miracles. I know about the miracles. I know that God can do over and beyond the unthinkable. Things that people never would think he could do. He can do. And I'm a witness. So, I just thank God. I thank God for the miracles in my life. I thank God for the miracles. Years later, like I said, I had a son down here. And my son is about 3 years younger than my youngest daughter. So I felt like my youngest daughter was feeling left out, feeling like, because she's the middle child. And I never wanted her to feel like that. I never want her to feel like just because, well, I'm sure it was some things being said also, but I never wanted none of my daughters to feel like just because I have a son now. Everybody says, oh, man, have his son. Oh, that's all he want. I never, ever not, considered my girls. My girls are my heart. They're my heart. Even though they grown and they living over 600 miles away from here, nobody or nothing can ever replace my girls. And now I have a grandson. And, I hear people say sometimes that God has a sense of humor. My grandson looks just like my daughter's mom. He looks just like my daughter's mom. And I'm like, and I can imagine, you know, how, she's feeling, with that, looking at her child, and her child looks just like, her mom. Like, I can imagine, like, it has to be some kind of emotional feeling behind that. But I just say, like I said, everything that happens in our lives is for a reason. Look, I'm gonna show y'all. Look how this thing is huge. This thing is big, heavy. This here has to be changed out. It average out to probably once every month and a half, something like that. Every month and a half, I gotta change this out. You know what? Oh, I thought I was doing the wrong thing. Yeah, I gotta change this particular thing out. But this thing here, it's got to be at least about. No, it's probably about 30 something pounds. But it's nothing that she can lift without potentially hurting or damaging her access spot on her arm. She don't need to be trying to lift this stuff. But anyway, like I was saying, experiences that I've been through, I'm sure there's plenty of people out here can relate. Plenty of men can relate. It's not really too much that somebody can ask me about, and I can't give you some kind of insight on it. So I've been in plenty of situations. Like I said, I've been that person. I've been that person sitting around on Father's Day, lonely, feeling bad, hurt, disappointed, crying, actually crying. And I know it seems like I'm crying now, but I'm not. My nose is running because I washed some dishes in bleach, and that bleach make my nose run. But yeah, crying, feeling bad, feeling sorry, kicking myself and feeling like my kids is. I done hurt my kids. I done disappointed them. They mad at me and they're not going to talk to me. And I done been through so many emotions. And like I said, now, the point that I'm at right now, I'm just trying to get closer to God. I'm trying to get closer to God. One thing that I learned this a while back, but I'm starting to apply it. I'm starting to use it. God said, wait a minute. God said for us to handle his business, and he'll handle our business. Which means we need to focus on him. Focus on what he wants us to do. Witness to other people. Encourage other people. For other people. Anything we can do to help our brothers, our sisters, is what we need to do. I'm not necessarily talking about your personal brother or sister. I'm talking about our brothers and sisters and through Jesus Christ. And and potentially our brothers and sisters. I mean, we need help. We need to assist each other with that too. But that's what I'm on. That's why today I'm here. I'm in this situation, and like I'm good. I'm okay. I'm okay. Like I said, it started out today. Uh, some people was trying to. I got a good message this morning. I got a very good message, very inspirational message this morning, and it didn't do nothing but make me feel. I was already feeling, even though my situations around me was looking kind of messed up, I was already feeling reassured. I was already feeling like today was going to be a blessing. I was feeling like I was going to be, from this point on, that it was going to be a bless. It's going to be a blessed experience. So what happens when you're walking around with joy, feeling good, thanking the Lord, giving praise and honor? What happens? The devil send people in your path to try to upset you, to try to make you feel some kind of way other than the joyous way that you was feeling before. And of course, I had several things that happened today where the devil wanted me to focus in on those situations and be angry about those situations instead of continuing on with my day feeling blessed, feeling positive, feeling good. The devil was trying to change that. And I'm not going to let him. I'm not going to let him. So, like I said, I could have went with my girl around to her father's house for Father's Day and chilled out with them, and probably going to be playing some games and eating and stuff like that. But I needed this time. I needed this time. And I needed this time to talk to y'all. I realized, one, when I talk, it helps me. But also, from some of the comments I'm getting, I'm realizing that I'm not so different from a lot of other people that's going through things out here. And that's why I'm determined and I'm motivated that I'm going to be a helping hand to somebody. I'm going to be an ear for somebody. Somebody ain't got nobody to talk to. Nobody. Just feel alone. Just don't have. Listen, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. We're going to change that. We're going to change that. You're not alone. Not only do you have our Father, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, you got a friend in me. And I invite people to hit my comment section. If you want to talk to me, if you want to ask me some questions, I could do. I want to mention, it was a guy doing a service that wrote a comment, and I don't remember his last name, but I'm going to pray for that brother. His name was Brandon. And I seen his comment on the John Gray broadcast this morning. He said that he's struggling and he's tired. He's tired of just not having nothing, not having nobody. Out of all of those people that was making them comments, and I told you, I can't see that good. I saw that. I saw that brother. I saw that brother make that comment. And I made a comment back to him to let him know that it's going to be all right and that I'm going to pray for him in his situation. I don't even know this guy. I don't know him. But it was something in his writing that really touched my heart and really sound familiar. It sounded real familiar. Like I remember being angry and tired. I remember that clearly. And I wanted to reassure that brother that he was going to be all right. He was going to be all right. We was going to pray for him in his situation, and he was going to be all right. And like I said, I don't remember what his last name, but I do remember his first name, and I'm definitely praying for him that God move in his life to help him do what he's going through. Because, like I said, I know how it is. I know how it is. It's about to give me a hard way to go. I know how it is to not have nothing. Well, to feel like you don't have nothing. You always have something. But I know how it is to feel like you don't have nothing. To feel like you don't have nobody. But I thank God for strengthening our relationship, my relationship with him, where I know and I'm reassured that he has my back and that he will never leave me nor forsake me. So I move forward with confidence, knowing that he got me. He got me. This situation that I'm in right now, this struggle that I'm going through right now, he got me. He got me. Like the song said, turn it over to the Lord. He worked it out. That's what you got to do. Turn it over to the Lord. Meanwhile, like I said, do his will. Do his will. Do his will. So while I'm doing his will, I'm gonna keep singing. I'm gonna keep praising. I'm gonna keep thanking. I'm gonna keep moving forward. Don't usually take me this long, y'all, but I was sitting here talking and trying to push this box across this floor. I'm almost finished with it though. I gotta hook up my wires, hook up my cords, make sure ain't nothing twisted. Snap that in there. That's good. Open that. Make sure that's tight. All right. Okay. I'm almost finished. But yeah. Like I said, my whole objective is knowing that Father's Day and letting y'all know that you ain't got to be alone. You can sit here and chill with me. We can get our talk on. I'm gonna look at the comment section in a minute. I'm almost out of here. Let me just connect this thing right here. As soon as that, put that together. Make sure that's open up. That's open. All right. I usually I started a channel for my girl so that I can put these things on and be like an instruction manual on how to set this stuff up, because so many people are doing home dialysis, and I know how it is to forget, your training, because you only get like we had like 4 weeks of training or something like that, and sometimes you come home, you be done forgot what they told you to do. But she's kind of on a camera shy side. She's not really ready for that right now, which is understandable. It took me some time to start getting used to relaxing, and you know. Yeah, hold on just a second. Wait a minute. Another thing I gotta make sure. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's good to go. That's gonna take 2.5 hours to get that together. And all right. So I got that. I had to make sure I take care of that, so that when I go to make her batch up, that has to be done. That has to be done before I can make her batch up. So I'm doing that. Then once that's done, between today and tomorrow, let me put this up here. Between today and tomorrow, I'll go and make her batch, and she'll be good to go. The batch take about 6.5 hours, and she'll be good to go. Anyway, all right. But yeah, what was on my mind today is, like I said, if we want God to bless us, then I heard a preacher say this, we have to remove the clutter. The clutter. You know what clutter is? Clutter is all of that negative, those negative thoughts, those negative feelings, that anger. We have to remove that clutter if we want God to bless us and instill us the things that that we want, that we looking forward to. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to move forward in love and forgiveness, and just straight up just being a better person. Just being a better person overall. I'm realizing life is short. Life is really short. I lost my brother at age 45. My daughter's mom passed away at age like 46. Like, my dad, when he died, I think my dad wasn't, I don't even think my dad was 50 when he passed away. Listen, and I stand on this. Every day that God opened your eyes, He giving you another opportunity. He ain't finished with you. He ain't finished with you. He ain't done with you. People are saying, "Oh, my life is over. I don't have nothing." Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And God ain't finished with you. Let me see if I can see any of these comments. Let's see. All right, what's it? And Enrica, Enrica, say hey, what's up, Enrica? Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Let's see. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. Let me see. How nice work. Uh, Said Merry Christmas. Really? All right. Uh, let's see. Somebody saying Mike Tyson. You know what? I don't know where people getting this. I look like Mike Tyson. I don't know where that's coming from, but I done heard several people say that. But I appreciate the compliment. Shoot, there go Mike Tyson. Let's see. Happy Father's Day from Lena. Appreciate that, Lena. Thank you. Let me see. Love from India. I appreciate you checking in from India. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know what that means. Let me see. Paxton said hi. What's up, Paxton? Thanks for watching me, chilling with me. Let's see. Hope you have a beautiful day and keep your head up. My life kind of right now, so passing on some love. Hey, you know what? Let me get your name right here. What's that? Dare a Limber? Scarlett? I hope you hear me. Listen, I appreciate that. And you know what? I'm going to keep you in my prayer that God will turn your situation around and that life will get better for you too. Just keep your trust in Him, keep your faith, and everything going to work out. Everything, all you got to do is believe. And you know what? You pray about it. Once you pray about it, just leave it in God's hands and go on and help somebody. And God gonna take care of your situation for you. Don't worry about it. Once you pray about it, don't worry about it. Just go on in and spread the love and help somebody else out. And what you just did, that message you just put up there, you helping me out. You make me feel comfortable and secure and make me feel even more like what I'm doing is the right thing and moving forward. So thank you for that, brother. I appreciate that. Let's see. Yeah, that was it. I seen them earlier. Yeah, but yeah, man, like I'm good. I feel really good. I feel really good. Um, 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 like I said, I have a couple more weeks for my birthday coming around. I'll be 53 years old. Um, I thank God for that blessing. Especially seeing so many other of my family members just going. You know, I can't help but to be thankful and grateful that I'm still here and that God is giving me another opportunity, another chance. You know, and things is not perfect. They're not perfect. Like I don't have perfect relationships. Like if I can have it my way, you know, I would be with my family. I would be with my grandson. Enjoying this day, going out, just having a good time. But God ain't ready for that yet. When God's ready for it, then that time will come. But till then, I'm going to still praise Him. I'm still going to be thankful. I'm going to be grateful for what I have. I'm going to be grateful. So, let me see. The next thing I got to do, I'm going to be making some trips, y'all. So, but I'm taking y'all for the ride along with me. Like I said, uh, Eminem said, I'm cleaning out my closet. And that's what I'm doing. I'm cleaning out my closet. Uh, One other thing that I learned that I have big dreams, right? I have big dreams. I have dreams for uh, to be able to buy myself a truck one day, right? To be able to drive, because I don't want to buy a truck and I can't drive it. So I have dreams for that. But listen, if you want God to bless you with more, you have to take care of the things that you have. Okay? Sitting around being sad and depressed about what you don't have. Meanwhile, you're letting all of your stuff go. You know, you're not keeping up with the stuff that God has blessed you with. He's not going to bless you with no new car if you sitting there riding around and your car looking like a dumpster. Come on now. So that's why I'm in the mindset that I'm in right now. I'm cleaning up and I'm cleaning out. I'm cleaning out inside and I'm cleaning out my house. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm happy with the way that things is going, you know, and I'm grateful. Oh, that's why I can't put my shoes on. That's all right. But y'all bear with me. I know I'm moving back and forwards. But I'm gonna be going, taking these boxes over to the, I don't know, let me see if I can do it with this camera. All right, I think I can do it. Meanwhile, check this out. I'm getting my exercise on too. So I'm killing 2 or 3 birds with 1 stone. Meanwhile, I'm talking to y'all. I'm talking to y'all. I'm hopefully being giving some encouragement somewhere along the line to somebody over here. You know, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Like I said, y'all rolling with me. It was raining out here. I'm glad it stopped raining. But y'all have a chance. Oh no, it's still raining. I ain't gonna be making no trips out here like that. I'll make this one trip. Let me keep my camera from getting wet. But y'all get to see outside stuff. See the beautiful. Yeah. You know, I ain't come no more because I'm shielding a little bit. My phone. You know. Oh yo. I'm trying to tell you. The black. Alright. I'm back. Sorry about that, y'all. I hope I'm still on. I hope y'all still on there. Shit, I don't know what was going on. Back on phone started disconnecting and carrying on. I can't go back out there. I done got wet. But yeah, I hope y'all seen that. Did y'all see that rainbow? Man, that was beautiful. I ain't seen no rainbow in probably some years now. A nice big rainbow. That lets you know, listen, it ain't over. Ain't over. God is just about ready to start blessing you. Your blessings are about to come. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up, because the devil, he want us to quit. He want us to quit. Because the devil know that God about to bless us too. So, of course, he want to feed us. Or look at you. You by yourself. Ain't nobody calling for you. Ain't nobody checking on you. What's the sense of you being here? He want to put them negative thoughts like that in your mind. We bless. We bless. And I know I've been on here for a while, but I'm making this video like this, and I'm hoping that people will watch it, but I'm not really worried about it. The people that's on here is on here for a reason. And I'm hoping that being this is a day that's really a special occasion to a lot of people. And y'all taking this time to spend it with me and listening to what I have to say. I'm hoping that it's for a reason. I'm hoping that it's for a reason. I'm hoping that I've come into your life for a reason. I'm in your house for a reason, and that some kind of way you can be inspired. You can be inspired. You can be motivated. You can be encouraged. That's what I'm hoping and praying for y'all. But yeah, got my deer park again. They still ain't called me yet, but it's okay. But yeah, I done been on here for a while. But like I said, I really, really appreciate all the love. I've been on YouTube now for a little over 3 months, and I've gotten over 1,000 subscribers. And I'm not sure if that's typical. It seemed to me, it kind of seemed a little bit above average, because it was a YouTuber that I was watching, and I was watching them for some years, and it took them a long time to get over 1,000 subscribers. I had started watching them from the beginning, and it took them probably like 2 years before they got over 1,000 subscribers. So I was thinking, that's typical. That's typical. Especially because they were older. Now I watched some younger ones that blew up like that. They was doing those pranks and the hot chip thing that was out around that time, challenges and stuff like that, and they blew up, and they're gonna became millionaires, probably within a couple of years. Like they was like off the chain. But I was thinking, like, for like somebody on an average, that especially somebody like me, that I'm not really talking about flashy cars, and I'm not doing pranks. I love to do some pranks, but I can't prank my girlfriend. She ain't gonna want to get on no camera. She ain't getting on no camera at all. So I can't even prank her without her being upset if I try to put her face up there on that camera. But let me see. Let me make sure I ain't forgetting nobody. Oh yeah. You know what? Dang, I almost forgot. And I'm glad I didn't. Listen, y'all remember I was telling y'all about my Uncle Keith. He was one of the people that I shouted out for Father's Day. Him and my Aunt Roxy. They took me in after was arrested or whatever. Today is both of their birthdays. Uncle Key and Aunt Roxy. I want to send a special shout out to them. Wish them happy birthday. Happy birthday to Uncle Key and Aunt Roxy. Both of their birthdays. That's crazy. Both of them got the same birthday, but different years. So birthday shouts to them. Like, I'm glad I thought about that. And I had sent them a message earlier. I forgot. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah. Like, I appreciate y'all, man. What I was saying. Oh, like I was saying. Like, I've been on here for like 3.5 months or so. And, you know, things kind of move kind of quicker than I thought it would. But I see it's like ups and downs with it. And I'm still trying to find my area. I want to do my exercise, because I'm trying to get in shape. Part of being able to continue on in a positive way is me being healthy. So I've been doing exercises, I've been lifting weights, But I noticed since added that to my channel here, I noticed that I don't know. I've been hearing different things about algorithms and this and that. And that. I'm still trying to figure this stuff out, but I think because of the content that I had, and now I'm adding the the exercise part to it. I think it's maybe throwing me off a little bit. So I still do it, but I have created another channel that I said I'm going to do just for my exercises, but I haven't really locked in on that channel like I want to because the camera that I have for that is darker than this one here, and I've had people over there say that they like the material, but my background and my camera stuff is really dark. So, and I just got to the point where I can do lives over there on that channel. So I'm hoping that I can, get a camera and maybe I'll just go in and I'll figure out something, where I can just, I try to put everything in like a category, hoping that, YouTube can be able to, you know, whatever material I put out, be able to put it in each category. I've been trying to do it like that so that, it won't be hard for my stuff to get out there like that. But I'm still trying to find my way and navigate through this new YouTube thing. But it's been a really good process. Like I've had a lot of good positive feedback. Um, of course, I've had people come on and say little things that they shouldn't be saying, but listen, I'm I'm not paying that stuff no mind. Like I'm not into that negative stuff like that, and I'm not really going to feed into anything negative because I feel like I have a purpose. Like God given me this opportunity for a reason, and for me to be arguing back and forwards with somebody that's just trying to be a troll or whatever it is they want to be, you know, I'm not going to do that. So if you come over this channel looking to try to have somebody to pick on and all that, like, listen, I know other YouTubers that sit there and argue back and forwards with y'all over stuff that y'all be saying and doing, being negative like that. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because there's more important people that's sitting on here that's enjoying the content, that's wanting to hear from me. You know, I'm not going to ruin everybody's experience because somebody decided they want to comb through and go on people's lives, especially, and be negative. Like, come on. Man, I was trying to get me one of these candies out of here, but all of these things. Sorry if y'all hear that rattling. Trying to get me a sucker out of here. I got these suckers from the dollar store. They got caramel on the top, over top of apple. I know it's probably reading backwards, but I got them from the dollar store. They some beat up looking suckers, but they good. They good. They all beat up, sideways on the stick. They just didn't care when they put that one together. It's all good. I don't need it anyway, but I'm going to listen. It's Father's Day. Hey, I can get a treat on Father's Day. So, but anyway, I'm about to get on off here. Let me see. What else can I say? All right, let's see. I want y'all to leave. I want to leave with a positive note. Let's see. Like I said, today I'm cleaning out my closet. I talked about my dad, the experiences that we had, and how things wasn't so good, but things did. We did get a better relationship before he passed away. And in case I didn't do it, I want to say Happy Father's Day to my dad in heaven, and just let him know that I miss him and I love him. And see, this is one thing that I tell my kids, like, and and it's not only about fathers, it's about anybody in your life. Come on, man. Keep in touch with your people. Keep in touch. Depression is real. Depression is real. Listen, that phone call, that phone call that you make could be the phone call to actually save somebody's life. And I ain't trying to scare nobody, but I'm telling you, when people are alone and they feel like they don't have nobody, it's easy. It's so easy for the devil to tempt them to do something, to do some kind of harm to themselves. To it's easy for them to lose it, to go, just go off in their own mind. Just all of these voices, all of a sudden. Listen, it's a thin line between insanity and sanity. When a person is spending a lot of time by themselves and secluded, listen, it's not good. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. And I get it. Some people want to be by themselves. You know, some people rather be by themselves than to be around a bunch of drama. But listen, I get that, but it don't take much to pick up a phone and call somebody and say, look, hey, I was thinking about you. And I just want you to know that I'm thinking about you and I love you. That goes a long way. It goes a long way. And matter of fact, I'm gonna give a shout out to my nephew Marquise, because listen, and I ain't gonna go into all of his business, but Marquise is my brother's son, and Marquise been struggling, and even through his struggles, he decided to call me and say Happy Father's Day. That meant a lot to me. Like, he barely can keep a phone, and he called me up to say Happy Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? That meant a lot. That meant a lot to me. You know. So I'm gonna shout him out on this. You know, I appreciate that. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the call. I appreciate him even thinking about me in a time like this. So, um, one other shout out I want to do. My nephew Anthony. Um, Anthony is my nephew through my stepsister. But Anthony's always been like a son to me. He was like my first son before I even started having kids. He was my sidekick, right? Well, Anthony is in the service now, and he been in the service for a while. But Anthony just had a child. He had his first child, and lucky him, he was blessed with a daughter. So this is his first Father's Day, and I sent him a message earlier, just shouting him out. But I'm gonna do that since I'm acknowledging the real ones. I'm going to acknowledge him today and say happy Father's Day, happy first Father's Day to him. And also to anybody out there that's a father for the first time, you know, is a special thing. Is a special thing. And I encourage you the best that you can to hold on tight to your babies. You know, I know it'd be tough sometimes dealing with the relationships, but don't never give up on your babies. Don't never give up. Fight. Fight with everything in you to make sure you have a proper relationship with your kids. Because when you don't, it it damaged the kids. It damaged the kids. You know, even though in your heart you missing them, you loving them, and you wanting to see them, but you can't. They could potentially be thinking that you don't care, especially when you move on and you have a child with somebody else. That just open the door for them to think that you don't care, that you don't need them anymore. And all of these kids, these young people need to feel loved and feel special by their mom and by their dad. So I encourage you to do whatever you can to be in your kids' life. And the ladies, I encourage you to do now. Listen, I'm gonna keep it real. Now I know there's a lot of dudes out there that's bums. I'm just gonna be straight up. And ladies, listen, I understand. You can't make nobody be a man. You can't make nobody be a father. But listen, all I ask is that you try your best and don't obstruct a man that's trying to be a father. That's all I ask. Don't obstruct a man that's trying to be a father. Now, if he a bum, he don't want to be around his kids, you can't, it's going to take him having to get his stuff together and doing right. You can't beg nobody to do nothing. You shouldn't have to beg nobody to do nothing. But if that man, he wants a relationship with his kids, don't fight it. Don't fight it. Put your personal feelings aside and let that man be a child to that. I mean, be a child. Let that man be a father to that child. They need it. You may not think they need. Oh, I'd have had somebody tell me I'm the mama and the daddy. Okay, that don't work. That don't work. You're hurting. You're hurting your baby. You're hurting your baby. It's selfish behavior, and you're hurting your baby. If he's not feeling it, or he or she not feeling it at that point, believe me, it's going to build up, and you're hurting your baby. And the last thing you want is for your child to go through them years of being rejected or being taken away from their father, and then them finally realizing, and then they cutting you off. Could be at a critical time in your life, and your child don't want to have nothing to do with you because you kept them from their father all them years and was lying and acting like the father didn't want to be there. Listen, strange thing about the truth, eventually it's going to show up. The strange thing about lies, I should say, um, it will catch up to you. It will catch up to you. So just do the right thing. Like I ain't the boss of nobody. I ain't nobody's judge. Like I said, I'm not perfect at all. I've been through some things myself. If I can go back in time, I would rewrite some things, but I can't. So I'm going from this point on. I'm going to encourage somebody else. And I'm going to encourage brothers, a young brother, not to make the same mistakes that I made. Maybe ain't got no guidance from a father. You know, or very little guidance from a father. This when a OG talking to you, or Unc, as they call us, is talking to you, listen. Just listen. Pay attention. Pay attention. I'm telling you, I ain't talking about somebody that's trying to talk you into going out there doing some ridiculous, crazy stuff that's going to get you in trouble and away from your kids. I'm talking about somebody that's in your corner, that want the best for you and trying to encourage you to be a good man. That's the person you listen to. It don't even have to be a family member. It don't even have to be a family member. I done heard things from people in the street. From people in the street. I done got encouragement from older folks. I never ever turn down information. I never miss out on an opportunity for knowledge. If I chose not to use that and I went along the wrong path, that was because I chose to be a knucklehead and not do the right thing. It wasn't because I didn't know. Now, as far as that fatherhood stuff, I didn't have direct teachings from my father, but I had teachings from my stepdad. I had teachings from my uncles. Like, some of the mistakes that I made was on me. It was self-inflicted. So, but remember this, and I'm going to cut this short because I've been on here for a long time. Remember this thing here. Remember this. Sometimes it ain't the start, it's the end. Listen, as a parent, it don't always work out where you ear to ear in your child's life. If you have that opportunity, that's a blessing. To see your child, that help raise your child from a baby all the way up to an adult. See your kid graduate from elementary school and middle school and high school and maybe even college. That is a blessing. If you have been through that, God bless you. That is a blessing. And especially if you and mom did it together, ooh, that is beautiful. That is a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And know another thing is a beautiful thing? If you and mom wasn't together and y'all was able to successfully parent your child into a successful adult, a successful adult, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. But it takes patience, kindness, love, and forgiveness. Because listen, that man or that woman could have been, while y'all was in that relationship, they could have been cheating and running behind your back and messed you over. But for you to be kind enough to put that behind you and do the best for y'all's child. Y'all put all of y'all misery behind you and focus on doing the right thing by that child. That is awesome and amazing. And it's rare. So I hope that there can be more successful relationships that grow into y'all raising y'all kids together and grow into your kids growing up and being successful, and then continue on breaking those curses, those family curses. I pray for that, and if it can't be that, I pray for the unity between a man and a woman, realizing that we got to put our personal feelings aside and we got to do best and do better by our child or our children. So let's do it. I pray for that. I pray for that. But for those that's like me that missed out on times with their kids and found yourself beating up yourself because you didn't do this, that, and the other, or even having kids have bitterness and anger towards you because they felt like you wasn't there when they was a kid. Listen, if you got a parent that want to be there now, take them. Take them. Love them. Appreciate them. You have to forgive. You have to forgive. So much, man, so many times we lose our way and end up, especially when you're young having kids, like you end up into all kind of nonsense. And then when you get your head on straight, you try to get back with your kids and they mad at you. They don't want no relationship with you because they mad at you because you wasn't there. We got to forgive each other because listen, if you don't, God take them away what you got. What you got? You mad at them. You mad at her. They wasn't there when you was such and such an age. So they ain't gonna never be in my kid's life. So then God take them away. Then what you got? You have no parent. Your kid have no grandparent. What are you serving? Listen, I know I'm getting emotional. I'm telling you, this stuff touches home with me. But I'm going to leave this message, and I want just for us to just love each other. Like, we ain't perfect. We ain't perfect. Nobody is perfect. Ain't no child perfect. Ain't no parent perfect. But what's most important is to love each other while we have each other. Because at any point, they can be gone. They can be gone. I got nieces and nephews that don't have a mom or a dad. I got that same nephew that I just shouted out. He don't have a mom or a dad. His mom and his dad died. It's gone. They gone. At one point, I'm sure he wish he can take back things that he said, things that he done. But they gone now. Listen, my mom is a handful, but that's the only parent I got left. And even though it be hard at times, and if I'm gonna be honest, I feel unappreciated sometimes. But that's the only mom, that's the only parent I got. So guess what? What am I gonna do? I'm a lover. I'm a lover through her flaws. I'm a lover through her flaws. I'm going to help her in any way that I can. I'm going to support her in any way that I can. Because we all we got left. My brother's gone. She lost her first child. Her first husband is gone. Her second husband is gone. She don't have nobody. Listen, love on each other. Forget the nonsense. Forgive. Forgive. I know it's hard to forget, but when you love on each other enough, eventually those hurt feelings will start to dissipate. They'll start to disappear. The love will be stronger than the hate. Love on each other. But that's all I got, y'all. That's all I got. Man, listen, I appreciate y'all. Let me see if I. Happy Father's Day. What's that? KBT. Happy Father's Day, bro. What's up? Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Let me see. Hi, Unc. I love you. Oh, I think I read that one already. Oh, we did I? Yeah, I read that one already. Yeah. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. I've been on here for a long time. Y'all been hanging in here with me. Listen, clean out your closet. Clean out your closet. That's what I'm gonna leave you with. Clean out your closet. That clutter that's in your head, that bitterness, that anger, that hatred, clean it out. Clean it out. Let God bless you with a new and start loving on each other. Start forgiving each other. Let go of that nonsense. Forgive. Forgive. Now, in some cases, just because you forgive, you know, depending on the circumstances, like some people I realize you can't be around. You can't be around. But listen, forgive. Forgive. Get that mess off of you. It's holding you down. It's like an anchor. A boat can't float if the anchor is in the water, right? You got to pick that anchor up in order for that boat to going on about its business. You can't move forward if you're allowing that anger, that hurt, that bitterness to stunt your growth. Let it go. Let it go. Love on each other before there's no one to love, before they gone. So that's my message. That's my message. Once again, happy Father's Day to all the great dads, all the dads, to all the unappreciated dads, the dads that get the socks and the ties for Father's Day when the mothers get this, that, and everything else. We love you, moms. Y'all the bomb.com. So don't be upset. But happy Father's Day to all you great dads out there. And I want to say thank you and God bless all y'all for sitting on here with me, listening to I probably could have wrote a book, all of this information I gave y'all today, but I appreciate y'all locking in with me. But that's it. Till the next time, remember, love, peace, and blessings. All right? Period. I'll catch y'all on the next one. And if I could figure out how to turn this camera off. Yeah, something don't want me to get off of here with y'all. All right, I got it. All right, God bless.